Today's lesson is 6.6. It is about solving problems involving a percent of change. So there's going to be an additional step because we have to find out how much a price has changed before we solve the problem. Percent of change is the amount stated as a percent that a number has increased or decreased. So we have to understand that sometimes a price is going to go up, and this is called a markup. So when a store buys a product, they raise the price so that they make a profit. And then there's always the percent of decrease, where they take the ticket price and they put it on sale or they have it on discount so that we feel like we're saving money when we buy that item. So this is the equation we're going to use today on all of our problems, where we find the amount of change and divide it by the original amount. To start with example 1, we're going to find the percent of change. The book has a lot of questions that just have a statement that say a number is changed, increase or decrease to another number. So using this equation that is given in your notes, to find the amount of change, you're going to subtract. I'm going to run out of room here. So this question says 25 is decreased to 18. So the number gets smaller, so that's why they're saying decrease. So I'm going to take my percent of change, use a delta sign for the change, and I need to take 25 minus 18 to find my amount of change. And I'm going to divide that by my original. It started out being 25, so that's what they're considering your original. So with a simple subtraction problem, I have 7 divided by 25. When I divide this, I'll get my percentage as a decimal. So if I take 7 divided by 25, I'm going to have a decimal 28 hundredths on my calculator. So to write that as a percent, I just move my decimal, boom, boom, and this means that the price went down 28%. Still under example 1, on the right side of your page, we're going to do another problem where 36 is increased to 84. So this time the price is going up. Using the same formula given at the top of your page, I'm going to take the percent of change. So I'm going to subtract my numbers. I want that to be a positive number. So this time I'm going to write down 84 minus 36. Because I want to find the amount of change, so I subtract again, but I'd like that to be a positive number, so that's why I put the 84 first. The original started out being $36, so that's what I'm going to put as my original. So we're going to subtract, simple subtraction problem, 84 minus the 36. We get 48, and our original is 36. So if you want to compare this to lessons that we've done already in this chapter, the change, the amount that the price has changed is your part, and the original is your whole. So if you're trying to connect this with other percent lessons, this is your part, and you always take your part divided by your whole. It's just an extra step because you have to calculate what your part is. So that's why it makes it a little bit harder. Again, when we type it into our calculator, we're going to get that decimal. And notice this is an improper fraction. Whenever you have an improper fraction, you get a number greater than 1. So this is one of those fun ones where it's 3 repeating. So it is 1 and 1/3. But I want it as a percentage. So I still have to do my boom boom to get my percent at 133%. So if the original price is 36 and they raise the price to $84, they have put 133% markup on that price. Most of your percent story problems today involve a price, and so the price is either going to increase or decrease. So the regular price of a sweater is $42.99 and it is on sale for 20%. So on this problem, they're giving us the percent. We are not solving for the percent. So there is more than one way to do this, but if we want to use our percent of change equation, the problem is we don't know both of the prices, so we have to use X for our amount of change, but our original is the $42.99. The percent is going to be 20, so I'm going to put 0.20. So I'm writing my percent as a decimal, because remember up above, that's how it always showed up on our calculator. So I want to use the same thing there. So I have my unknown, or my amount of change. All right, here I need to solve this equation. So when I have an equation and it says to divide, we do the opposite and we multiply. So we cross simplify our $42.99 and we go to the other side and we multiply by $42.99. So what we're doing there is we're taking our 20% and we're multiplying it by the original price. So this is pretty much our percent equation, where you take the percent times the whole. That's what we're doing. So if I type in 2/10 times $42.99, I get $8.60. That is not my final answer, because that is how much the price changed. So if it was originally $42.99 and the price was decreased because it was on sale, I need to subtract my $8.60 that it went down. So subtracting 42 minus 8. So $42.99 was the original price, and we are going to pay $34.99. So the percent equation part, a little confusing. So I kind of like just that equation right there, where I take the percent times the original, and that's going to tell me how much I'm going to save, and then I subtract it. So lots of ways to solve this type of problem. And our last problem for the day is very similar to our example 2, where we know the price and we know the percent of change. So when we know the percent of change, we write the percent as a decimal, and then we don't know how much it changed, so that's our unknown, and we divide it by our original, which our original was given. To solve this equation, we multiply. So our 120s will cross simplify, and then we go to the other side and multiply there as well. So I just want to write this out as an equation before I do my multiplying. Just like on the previous problem, we have the percent and we're timesing it by the original. So there we go, percent by the original, and that's going to tell us how much our price changed. So after I do that multiplying, 120 times my percent as a decimal, I get 30 is how much it changed. So if I started out with a $120 price and it goes down $30, that means we only have to pay $90. So that is what we call our sale price.